Ultimate elevations, blessings be upon you. Glory be to the Lord Jehovah Jireh for sure. Thank you for watching me, Black God, here on Spiritual Truths. Let me tell you right now, straight to the point. Title of today, Standing Still Will Save You. Is you following? Standing Still will save you. We're coming out of Judges 19. I'm not going to read all of 19, but I recommend highly that you do it for yourself. Meditate on it, gain the juice from it, and then come back to the comments and give me an enlightening moment that God has shined light on for you, okay? At any time that we flapping this in this juice, and we setting sail in our canoes, and it tingles your spirit, drop the juices in the hand clap and just make sure your hand clap matches your emoji, your profile picture. Now look, I meditated on this last night, and there's so much juice in this. Okay, there's so much juice in this, and this is why I like reading the words that come from the Lord and allowing Him to teach me in spirit, because it helps me stay connected to my faith. It helps me endure and overcome. You feel what I'm saying? It helps me dig deeper into my spirit so I could get pushed deeper into that salvation that God has given me and away from the flesh and the evil things that live amongst us on planet Earth. Is you follow what I'm saying? All right, cool. That's why I love it. We're going to start right here. And it came to pass in those days when there was no king in Israel that there was a certain Levite staying in a remote mountain. He took for himself a concubine from Bethlehem in Judah, not a wife, a concubine. And I want you guys to understand why I just stretched that out. You feel what I'm saying? A concubine and not a wife. Okay. But his concubine played the harlot against him and went away from him to her father's house at Bethlehem in Judea, and was there for 4 whole months. Concubine, not wife. You understand what I'm saying? Concubine, not wife. Now, I'm not saying she's not of value. I'm not saying that. But you have to understand what you're dealing with, so when you place your bet, you don't lose all your coins. Is you follow what I'm saying? See, there's things in this world that we are just supposed to enjoy for a temporary moment, not for a permanent everlasting. Is you follow what I'm saying? I'm talking to the spiritual and strong and those that are meant to understand. I'm not here to debate nothing. I'm here to give you the juice for your canoe. We get caught in chasing things that we should be fine with letting go. She's a concubine. You know her job requirements. You know what she's into. Are you following what I'm saying? Look, hey, straight to the point. Straight to the point. We're getting mad at people for being what they were made to be. We're getting upset because we're trying to put something in a category where it doesn't belong. Are you understand what I'm saying? I'm not discrediting this woman. I'm discrediting this man's knowledge. Are you understand what I'm saying? Are you following what I'm saying? It's going to make sense on the long haul, but I need you to understand. He's not dealing with a wife. He's dealing with a concubine. And she left for 4 months. Let me tell you guys something. If it's gone for 4 months, let it stay gone. If it leaves and it does not return in a respectable time frame, don't picture yourself with it no more. Are you following what I'm saying? You're going to get yourself hurt. When you're chasing something, that's how you get cursed. When you're chasing something that truly doesn't belong to you, that's where harm comes in your way. Just stand still and you'll be safe. It's going to make sense on the long haul. Glory be unto the Lord. She went back to her father's house in Bethlehem for four whole months. Then her husband arose and went to her to speak kindly to her and bring her back, having his servant and a couple donkeys with him. So she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the young woman saw him, he was glad to meet him. God explained to you that he's going to be with you when you go out and when you enter in. Are you following what I'm saying? See, when we understand the words that God has given us, all we have to do is ask and receive. See, if he really was a husband to this woman and she really found him to be favorable and she loved the connection that they shared, he wouldn't have to go out there to find her. She would have found her way back to him. This is what I'm trying to explain to people. Just stand still. What's for you will find you. You attract all things. Attract all things. Are you following what I'm saying? When you go out into this world, you need to know if it's really yours. That you got to know what you're looking for is really yours. Don't be searching out certain things because you could be putting yourself in the snare that the enemy has laid for you. Just stand still and do what God told you to do and ask and receive. Are you following what I'm saying? When we're connected to the Lord, when we allow our Lord to be God, He will guide us, or he will guide that thing to us. Are you follow what I'm saying? That's why it's important that we understand the first part. There was no king in Israel. There was no king in the spirit. Everybody was doing what they wanted to do. Look around in today's time. Don't go out into this world trying to find a jewel for yourself. Are you understand what I'm saying? Don't do that. Stand still where you're at. Ask the Lord and wait for it to come. Ask for God to clear that path of the evilness and allow you to walk it righteously to get what's yours to take. Are you following what I'm saying? Glory be unto the Lord. Glory be unto the Lord. He did that, talked to her nice. Now his father-in-law, the young woman's father, detained him, and he stayed with him 3 days. So they ate and drank and lodged there. Then it came past on the 4th day that he arose early in the morning, and he stood to depart. But the young woman's father said to him, refresh your heart with a morsel of bread, and afterwards go your way. So he sat there, and the two of them ate and drank. Then the young man's father said to him, please be content and stay here all night. Let your heart be merry. Then the man stood to depart, and his father-in-law urged him, so he lodged there again. Then he arose early in the morning, the 5th day, to do the same. The father asked him again. He stayed. Glory be unto the Lord. He's always trying to leave, but the father-in-law tells him to stay. He said, look, the day is now drawing towards evening. Please spend the night. See, the day is coming to an end. Lodge here. Let your heart be merry. Tomorrow you go your way early so that you can go home. However, glory be unto the Lord. We're in verse 10. The man was not willing to spend the night, so he arose and departed and came to an opposing area in Jerusalem. With him were the 2 saddled donkeys. His concubine were also with him. They were near Jebus, and the day was far spent. And the servant said to him, Master, come, please, let us turn aside in this city of Jespus and lodge there. I know I said a lot, but to summarize it, when God is urging you to stand still, please listen. Don't allow your flesh to get you in a situation that God is trying to keep you from. His father-in-law was trying to urge him. Are you understand what I'm saying? His father-in-law was trying to urge him. Okay, you stayed as long as I can make you stay. All right, cool. You're going to go. Now your servant is begging and pleading with you to go to the city. No, I don't want to go. See, sometimes we have to listen to the ones that love us. These are not people that don't know him. This is not people that are not glad to be in his presence. No, they're trying to gift him with, hey, what are you in a rush for? Are you following what I'm saying? I got to slow this down today. When you find what you want, you should be fine with where you're at. See, a lot of people are gathering things and then trying to go here and there and then wondering why man is robbing them of everything. See, when you find your joy, when you find your gladness, when you find your happiness, isolate yourself. You have the icing on your cake. You don't need to desert yourself and go through the desert again to try to take that thing that you talk kindly to God for, and God handed it over to you and delivered it to you. You're not in the land of strangers. You're not amongst foreigners. You're amongst people that favor you. But we always want to take it and go somewhere else, and then we get hijacked along that highway where people don't think highly of you. Are you understand what I'm saying? They just love the things that you value and want to take them from you. His servant pleaded with him. He said, no, these are not my people. Let's go to the Benjamins. Let's go to their cities. Let's lodge there. When he gets there, nobody takes him in until later an old man comes. And the old man comes and he says, hey, just lodge with me, but don't sleep in the square of this city. So he goes into the land, in the house of the man. And then these perverted men come and they start banging on the door. They say, we want the man that you brought in there. We want the man that you brought in there. And he says what he says. Hold on, let me find a verse for you guys. And then they're enjoying themselves. This is 22. They're enjoying themselves, and the perverted men surrounded the house and beat on the door. They spoke to the master of the house, and the old man said, bring out the man who came to your house, that we may know him carnally. But the man, the master of the house, went out to them and said to them, no, my brethren, I beg you, do not act wickedly. Seeing this man has come into my house, do not commit this outrage. Look, here is my virgin daughter and the man's concubine. Let me bring them out, humble them, and do as you please. But this man do not do a vile thing. Now, I want to slow down, and I want you to understand something. Man is going to get you to sell something that you desire. That's why this spiritual truth is way different, because it's so much juice. Are you understand what I'm saying? See, the master of that house is really not the master over your temple. Glory be be unto the Lord. They're not a master of your happiness. Glory be unto the Lord. They're not a master of your joy. Glory be unto the Lord. So they don't mind taking that thing that you went 4 months without and then found favor with it to bring it back to you. They're telling you to sell it off again. What was the point of me going 4 months without it, finding it, and then giving it up again? Are you following what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Glory be unto the Lord. If this man would have just stayed still and allowed it to be what it is, this concubine would have survived. This woman would have had her happiness. He could have found another concubine if he is who he is. Glory be unto the Lord. Are y'all following what I'm saying? This master, this person that he doesn't even know, but he calls his family and his relative and his people, he's in the land of Benjamin. These perverted men come. He doesn't say, hey, this is our family. Hey, he's of our tribes. No. He says, you could take his concubine and you could take my virgin daughter. Do you see how man is just really willing to discard anything? These are women, for one, that man said is more valuable than rubies. And look how man just discards them to the swine. Here, take them. Don't do nothing to this man. You see what I'm saying? You're not protecting the whole house. See, God protects the whole house. He even said your faith protects the whole house. But this man doesn't have faith in his faith. He has faith in objects. Look at your life. Look how man treats you like an object. Look how they're quick to just replace you. See, God is not willing to replace you. See, God is willing to replace those things that replaced him. Glory be unto the Lord. To keep you in the light of his days. Glory be unto the Lord. To keep you in the happiness of your hearts. Glory be unto the Lord. Are you hearing what I'm saying? See, man is, hey, to save me, you could take them. To save me, you could take him. Look what they did to Christ. That's why it hits me different in my heart. To save their positions in the synagogue, they allowed God's great spirit to be slaughtered. To save their position in man's mind, they didn't mind slaying something so potent in power to keep their weaknesses at bay. Are you following what I'm saying? Y'all not hearing what I'm saying, bro. It hits me different to read that. Because every time something wicked comes banging on the door, and they know what house. Are y'all following what I'm saying? Like they know specifically what house. How do they know that that man was in that old man's house? They were waiting. Bring it out. We want it. Same thing with Lot. Same thing with Lot. He was in a wicked land. Are you following what I'm saying? The angels came, told Lot. They always trying to sell off something. And it's always a woman. The thing that was born to have more faith, that holds greater wisdom. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Are you following what I'm saying? He gave the concubine up and his virgin daughters. What I'm trying to summarize to you, don't stand behind man's strength. Hide yourself in God's hidden tabernacles. Hide yourself underneath his wings. Humble yourself underneath his mighty hand and allow him to be a shield to you. Nobody cried out to the Lord when that wickedness came banging at their door. Nobody remind them that this house serves the Lord, and if you touch anybody in here that's anointed, you shall surely die. No, they were willing to give up things that man found to be valuable to himself. Y'all not hearing me, bro. That's why we're losing out in this world. We so quick to discard the things that we ask God to be our desires. That's why that man should have never went behind that concubine, because you wasn't even willing to die behind it. If you're not willing to die behind that desire, don't ask God to bring it to you. If you're not willing to die behind that desire, don't ask God to deliver it to you. If you're not willing to die and be a faithful friend to that thing, allow the ending to be. Don't add them to another chapter in your life, knowing that you don't have the faith to protect them. Are you following what I'm saying? See, that's why we get hurt, because we always lean on people but the Lord. That's why we're always taken out of our character and abused by perverted things, because we're expecting man to have the same strength in God as God and to be God. No, we have a God. Lean on the Lord. Even if the world doesn't believe in the Lord, you keep your belief in the Lord. You have to be like Daniel. Even in a land where they serve the idols, I'm going to keep my eyes on one God, my God. my true God, who has given me and gifted me with these spiritual gifts that I'm going to always be presented with in my time of need. Are you following what I'm saying? You have to protect the things that you love. You have to guard those things with your truth. You have to understand that the only way that I'm going to survive and the things that I love are going to survive if I push me in those things in God's hands and keep them there. If he really had a true relationship with the Lord and believed in the favor that God explains to his people all the time, all you got to do is ask. Father God, if it's for me, allow it to find me. Father God, if it's really for me, allow the truth and the love that we share to bring them back into remembrance of what we are. It doesn't even have to pertain to just the people, though. Even your blessings. You don't have to chase after blessings. They're your blessings. They're yours to claim. When you're chasing things that are not yours, you're basically putting yourself in a situation to be cursed. Period. It sounds cute. Oh, I'm chasing a bag. And that's how man put that bag over your head. You're chasing the bag? Come on, we don't need to do that. If once you search out the kingdom, all things will be added onto you. Yes or no? Okay, drop 3 juices in a hand clap, and I'll carry on. Once you search out the kingdom, all things will be added onto you. You're subtracting things from being claimed by you when you go a different path away from the Lord. He said, as long as you abide with me, you'll have riches forever. Abide in the Lord. Don't be ashamed of your God. Keep yourself out of this situation. Let me carry on, man. So he said what he said. They took the concubine. They did her in a certain way that basically took her life. In the morning, the man rose up. The man rises up and he tells her, get up and let's get going. But there was no answer. So the man lifted her onto the donkey, and the man got up and went to his place. This is verse 28. When he entered into his house, he took a knife, laid hold of his concubine, and divided her into 12 pieces, limb by limb, and sent her throughout the territories of Israel. Do you see what I'm saying? Are y'all following what I'm saying? This man went 4 months without her. She was living her life peacefully, doing what she do, minding her business and tending to it. Here he come talking juicy to her, found favor with her, led her into a darkness that wasn't following behind her, then takes her back home after he done took her life from her and chops her up. She don't even get to be buried. Are y'all following what I'm saying? Man does not care about you as much as man say they care about you. See, that spirit of Christ that dwells within us, that has the empathy and sympathy and compassion, that loves you because that's what you're tethered to. But a flesh mind, a lustful mind, they could care less. They could care less. He went 4 months without her, found favor, took her on a route that wasn't good for both of them. She got sold out, got taken advantage of, lost her life. Now you cutting her up in pieces and feel like you're about to do justice. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? That's what man does. That's what man does. A concubine, not a wife. Not a wife. I don't think he would cut his wife up in pieces. I don't think he would give his wife away. That's why I'm trying to explain to people. Nobody's going to appreciate you like the Lord you serve appreciates you. Nobody's going to protect you. Imagine you being in that position. You being that woman and somebody pushing you outside and leaving you, feeding you to that darkness. Are you following what I'm saying? That's why I keep my life in the Lord. That's why I trust him as his words direct my feet and be a lamp to them and directs me into my peace. I don't trust man. I trust the spirit within man to show me their fruits. And once I see a rotten fruit, I don't allow that energy to enter into me or anything that I desire to keep permanently. When I see people coming and going, glory be unto the Lord, I just make sure that the Father remains, the Trinity remains, the legions of angels that are encamped around me remains. I understand as long as there's desires in this world and there's something that people find to be greater than me, they'll sell me out to that darkness quick, fast, in a hurry. You feel what I'm saying? Just to keep that wickedness away from their door. I'm going to heed the Lord and I'm going to stand still and I'm going to allow those special things that God desires for me to find me. Glory be unto the Lord. I'm not chasing anything because that thing's going to make me fall into a trap. When that rabbit is chasing whatever it's chasing, when that rabbit is trying to look for whatever, there's a trap. There's a trap. Man is trying to snare you. And if they can't snare you, they're going to talk good to you and try to still rule over you. But when something greater than them comes knocking at their door, you're going to get tossed out for sure. Glory be unto the Lord. I don't know if y'all ever been in a situation where you and the homeboys are trying to fit in this one car. You find out who you really are if you're really favored by that person. No shade, tossing truth. When everybody else get in the car, they be like, I mean, you're going to have to find your own ride, bro, or call an Uber, bro. Or bad. And remember that, though. It's just truth. When things start to get a little too compressed, when there's not that much room, they're going to start doing the selection. But let me tell you, God is always going to make sure that you have a shotgun position in his ride. God's going to make sure that you're not left behind. Man will leave you. Man will leave you. Let me carry on. He chopped her up. He put her around. And so it was saw by everybody. No such deed has been done nor seen from the day the children of Israel came from the land of Egypt until this day. Consider it, conferred, and speak up. So this man did all of this. He did all of this. Everybody called a meeting from the tribes. He explained what Benjamin did. Now, this is the part that I need you to understand, okay? They rode behind this man. They said, oh, Benjamin did some foul stuff. Okay, we're going to ride against Benjamin. Benjamin said, oh, we not tolerating that. Y'all trying to come at us. We throwing hands, family. But I need you to understand they rode behind this man. But behind his faults, though. And behind his faults, got Benjamin slayed down. To the point that they were so angry with Benjamin, they said, we'll never let y'all have a wife of ours. That's how bad the war got. And I'm sitting here, I say, wow, the domino effect. This man was selfish in his desires, got somebody slayed, and then played victim. Y'all not hearing nothing that I'm saying. This man is the cause of Benjamin getting slayed down and an oath being said to them that they cannot have a wife from their tribes because of what they did. I understand Benjamin was perverted. I understand these men were trying to do this concubine like this, but if that man would have never went to search her out, she would have never been put out of the house and given off to that level of darkness. She would have been in her father's house, drinking wine and eating morsel bread. Are you understand what I'm saying? Amongst her kindred. See, we got to learn to leave people alone because we're causing a greater storm than just leave, you know what I'm saying? Causing a greater storm for people. We got to just respect people's sunshine and allow them to enjoy the rainbows and the promises that God promised them. When something leaves, allow it to leave. But be happy with the memories that you shared. Are you following? When that's why I tell people, don't hit me with a hey. Hey is for a horse. Hit me with a hello. Glory be unto the Lord. But if you leave me, stay gone. Are you following what I'm saying? Stay gone. No shade, no hate, no nothing. Just stay gone because I know. Well, Black, you just said whatever's for you, may it find you. It's going to find me the first time, it's going to stay. God said he's going to give you that joy that never comes with sorrows. You leaving me is going to cause me a pain. But I know it was just a temporary thing, not a permanent party. You feel me? I'm aware of that. And I'm not messing up nobody's life, searching people out and be like, hey, big head, da-da-da-da-da. No, that's toxic. That's toxic. This man caused a big old war because of his selfishness. But at the same time, that's what God does for us. We put ourselves in situations that God was trying to keep us away from, and then things happen, and we cry out, and because our cry is so potent, and God finds pleasure in our spirit, he said, you know what? They're the bad guy. But if we have integrity, we're not going to shed tears just because behind something that we tore apart. Whatever the argument was that made this woman leave, or she played the harlot against him and he seen it for what it is, he should have just been like, hey, it is what it is. But no, this is mine. There's a lot of people in this world that crash out behind things that they shouldn't even been driving behind. You feel what I'm saying? We got to learn self-love. We got to understand it is what it is. There's a time and a place. There's a beginning and there's an end. And when forever hits, let forever be done. We can't, but this is also another thing. People meant what they said, and they said what they know they would mean. After they told Benjamin, Y'all can't have our wives. They didn't go back and say, all right, we was just angry. No, once you say something, you have to mean it for eternity till this day. And then guess what happened? When they started feeling bad for Benjamin, and what they said to Benjamin, like, dang, bro, we done slayed y'all down, and now we feel bad, and we can't give y'all no wives because we oathed it. Now we gonna go to another nation, slay them down, and take their wives, and let y'all marry. Like, do you see the domino effect of destruction? That's why I'm trying to tell you. When God tell you stay here, stay there. When God say I can replace that thing, allow him to bring the replacement. When God say I have greater for you, believe that. Don't go out into this world trying to find something that God wants you to be blind to. Accept how God is ruling over your life. Whatever is meant to be will be. Everybody says that prayer. God, give me the strength to accept what I can't change, and serenity to woo, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Accept it. If it pains you, take the pain from it like David did, and once it's over and done with, rise up and find your joy in the morning. Don't cause catastrophic events because you still want something that doesn't want you no more. And I'm not just talking about the concubine. I'm telling you about the flesh and the spirit. Live in the spirit. Take your treasures out of heaven. Allow God to store them into your house that serves him, and be respectful to that relationship that you have with God. And when you're about to move and that spirit in you tells you to stay, don't rebuke it. Stay. And when somebody that loves you, that serves you with compassion and understanding, and they come to you and they plead with you, they say, let's go over here. Trust it. Trust it. If he would have listened to his father-in-law, he'd been okay. If he would have listened to his servant, he would have been okay. But sometimes we allow our mind to think that we're better than the people that's around us. And that's why I try to tell my loved ones that's around me, I'm you, you are me. I'm not going to have people that I believe is lesser than in understanding around me. No, their eyes are just like mine. Their mind is just like mine. So when they tell me something, I'm going to mind it. If they're really locked in with me, I'm gonna mind what they saying, because their words are just as valuable as mine. Where two or three are gathered, is the Father in the midst or no? Okay. So why are you gathering yourself around people that you wouldn't trust when they tell you something? They understand you're the leader, but even the leader got to be told, hey, you're going in the wrong direction. And you should trust the men that's following behind you to say, you're leading us into captivity, not away from it. And I understand the words that I'm saying. Some people are going to be like, but I know who's a faithful friend. And I know who's a Judas. Glory be unto the Lord. This man did not have a Judas behind him or around him. He was the Judas of his own life. Lord, he was putting more faith in Benjamin than the real friends that were around him. One person knew the land. The other servant who served him righteously, hey, let's go over here. It's getting dark. The father said, you can stay here and leave in the morning. See, we don't wait for the morning. We like to go at night. And we feel like our little light is going to save us. Then we hit a deer on the road. Are you following what I'm saying? We're trying to drive in the rain and then run into somebody trying to hitchhike. And now we getting cut down. We getting tied down in somebody's basement. I know I'm making sense right now. If you're tired of the spiritual attacks, stop creating a battlefield. If you're tired of the spiritual attacks, find rest in the pastures that God is telling you to lay in. Go back to being a child of the Lord and allowing him to nurture you. Cry out to God and allow him to bring you into the lands that flow with milk and honey, and the pomegranate and the good things and all your heart's desires. When it leaves that land, allow it to leave that land, and expect the season that you're in, and just know that God has a greater chapter for you. Are you following? Don't try to be God of your own life. Don't try to be God of your own life. You're going to run into the godless, the cold-hearted, the snakes, the snarers, the leechers. Are you following what I'm saying? You have to understand this for you. You have to ask yourself, do I trust the people that I'm around? Do I trust God that has brought me around him? Do I believe in the word that I say is a lamp to my feet? Do I believe that God will deliver me all that is desired for me? Then I shall stand still and not be greatly moved. Even though we talk about the enemy's weapons and how they shall not prosper, we have to understand how we could be an enemy to those people that we want to see succeed. We have to think about that our actions can affect a whole nation. His actions affected a whole nation and brought calamity and snares amongst his own race. Glory be unto the Lord. It's bigger than us is what I'm trying to say. So don't let your little desires make a big and magnified problem. And then when God comes and does what he do, because Israel got slayed down too. Israel lost a lot of warriors behind this man and what he felt was a case that needed to be a war behind. And when the war was the war, go read and where this man was at. It's not about him no more. It's not, that's why I'm saying misery loves company. He was miserable. And look what happened. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Look what happens when you get around miserable people, negative thinking people, people that think they know it all, people that don't want to listen to you. Look what happens. It causes a war within yourself based off of talking to that person, dealing with those people. Look, you start crashing out, punching holes in your walls and all these other things. You're like, dang, just by dealing with those people. Stay away from them. Abide in your God. Talk to your God in the prayer closet that you have formed for you and his relationship. Talk to him in spirit. Allow him to remove those people that really showed you in the beginning they don't love you. They don't care about you. In the scripture we just read, it said husband. She didn't look at him as a husband. She didn't look at him as a husband. She played the harlot against him. Except the truth God is showing you is what I'm saying. Don't try to break it down to the point where you still want to get another bite out of it. You have bitten to poison on your own. God removed it out of your home. Don't go find it. Because you're going to find yourself putting yourself in danger. Are you following what I'm saying? And then you're going to cause destruction for everybody else. And then you're going to try to play victim. No. Love how God is ruling over your life. Love the manner that God is serving you by his personal hand. Accept what God knows to be best for you so you can have a greater view of your outstanding life that is going to have blessings coming from every area. Don't be like these people that had no king. Don't be like these people who go and fro without a good shepherd. Remember who you are, remember who made you, and understand what dwells within you, and do right by being obedient to your obsolete God. Are you understand what I'm saying? So there's no obstacles that you have to go through, no challenges that you have to bear. The only thing you can do is sit down in the area God placed you and enjoy your fruits of the labor that you worked in. Glory be unto the Lord. Jehovah Jireh for sure. Elohim over everything. If it ain't C7, it ain't G. Thank you guys for tuning in with me here at Spiritual Truth. Once again, if it did something for you, if it was true juice, drop 3 juices in a hand clap, and I'll see y'all next time.